Hey everybody, it's Jeffrey, and I'm back with another Bible video with some Bible verses just for you. Today I wanted to talk about standing up for yourself. We live in a fallen world. And there's always some hurdle that you're going to get through. There's always somebody that's going to pressure you and push you and try to bully you and try to upset you. There's always going to be somebody. That's the world we live in. And if you think you're not going to have that happen to you, you are sorely mistaken, because this whole world is geared to grind you down and to knock you down and to keep you down. And the Bible talks about standing up for yourself, being able to take charge of your life. And that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 17. So we do have a few verses to look through today. So let's take a look at it. Starting with verse 10 in chapter 6 of Ephesians. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. It's hard to stand up for yourself. There's one instance that I remember having to stand up for myself, and it was very difficult. When I was in high school, I had a bully. There were a couple of instances, but one I remember in particular. This guy got mad at me, and he started to bully me. He would knock my books out of my hand, he would threaten me, he would stand by the bus waiting for me to get on so he could try to intimidate me, and I became very afraid. I became very scared and very threatened. I was afraid to go to school, I was afraid to be there, and I didn't want to be at school. And I prayed to God about it. I brought it to God and I said, Lord, help me with this situation. I am frightened. I'm afraid he's going to beat me up. He's going to hurt me. And I'm literally scared. Despite being a big guy, he was a little bigger than me. And I was very nervous. So one day, I remember talking to my father about it. And he told me I needed to stand up for myself. So I went to bed that night. And I prayed, and I realized something. I realized that I would rather get beat up than live in fear and be scared and be nervous and upset all the time. It was too much. I would rather face a beating than have to deal with this on a daily basis. So I prayed for God to give me the strength and the courage to face this bully. So I think the Lord organized this. Our school was a very small school in numbers of people, but it was still halfway decent sized. So there was a lot of area where you could be without somebody else being there. So anyways, I'm walking down the hallway this way, like this. And he's coming down the hallway like this. And there's nobody around. There is nobody at all. And so I said to myself, this is it. This is what the Lord has set up for me, to be strong and to be brave. So I walked up to him and I said, all right, you've got a problem with me and you want to fight me. and you've been harassing me all this time. I said, now this is it. We're going to fight now. If we do not, I don't want to hear from you ever again. Don't talk to me. Don't approach me. If you want to fight, this is your opportunity. Now you may beat me, but I'm going to take a piece of you with me. And he looked at me and he's like, you're stupid. And he walked off, right? The next day I come to school. I walk by him. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, buddy? What's going on? He had a total 180. Now, I've read that bullies, 90% of the time, will back down. They'll back down most of the time. Do I condone violence? No, I do not condone violence. But I don't condone living in fear either. We need to stand up for ourselves, or we're just going to be bullied. And I've had a situation recently where I had to stand up for myself, and I did. We have to stand up for ourselves as Christians. Now, that doesn't mean challenge people to a fight all the time, but there will be occurrences where you might have to defend yourself physically. It happens. It's unfortunate, and it happens. There may not be an adult around. There may not be a policeman around. There may not be a school teacher or someone to intervene for you around. And sometimes you have to stand for yourself. And with God by your side, you can. Does that mean you might not take a beating? Yeah, you might. You might. But you're going to send a message that you're not going to just stand there and allow these things to happen. And you will fight back. And people don't want to fight. Generally speaking, people don't want to fight. They want to intimidate you and bully you and laugh at you, but they don't want to risk getting hurt. They don't get the result they want, your fear. They usually will walk away. And that's what I found out. I've had a couple of instances with bullies where I've had to do this, despite me being such a big guy. And in high school, I wasn't as big as I am now, of course. But towards the end of my high school career, I was 6'6". I towered over all my teachers. It was so weird. My graduation photo where I'm getting my diploma from my principal, I tower over him. He looks like a child next to me. It was so weird. Such a weird photo. So anyways, you have to stand up for yourself at times where enough is enough. So, what do the Bible verses I just read have to do with all that I just said? Well, we have to put on the full armor of God. What do they list? The helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, the breastplate of righteousness, the belt of truth. You've got to stand for yourself. Stand for what's right. Stand for God. That's it for now. I'll talk to you later.